Hi guys, and welcome to a new video on Sonal's Life. So, in my previous video, I did a Wrestle Grand Slam in Tokyo Dome preview, and I am back for the review. It was honestly an amazing show from start to end. Like, going into the show itself, there was a lot of uncertainty, which I'll talk about later on, but there were some great feuds and a solid basis for some great matches. And I can happily say, despite getting up early, well, it wasn't as early as it could have been, because for some reason I thought it was starting at 6 AM BST rather than 8. It kept me hooked from the very beginning. So let's have a look through all the matches, how wrong my predictions were, which, as expected, very wrong, and what we can expect going forward. So let's get started. Like I said, it started at 8 AM BST, and we had the opening match, which was the Big Rambo for my favourite King of Pro Wrestling title. It was actually quite a long match. I think it went about 40 minutes. And as expected, it was chaotic. In the end, after the poll, it was a handcuff match, which, like I said, as well as getting pinned, eliminated, submitted, if you were handcuffed, you were basically out of the match. And it literally had everybody in it. We had Young Lions, we had the junior heavyweights, we had heavyweights, we had the third generation club. From the very beginning, it literally had all of the names that we unfortunately didn't get to see on the main card. So I got to see Roppongi 3K, Master Wato, Suzuki, Kanemaru. We got members of the Bullet Club, so Evil, Yujiro, Chase Owens, Bushi from LIJ, who obviously, unlike his other teammates, didn't actually have anything on the card. And it was great. We had some really nice interactions. So as expected, Nagato and Suzuki squared off. Yano came in at the end being unpredictable as ever. Yes, it wasn't like a wrestling masterpiece, but it wasn't meant to be. It was going to be a nice light-hearted way to end. And it was actually pretty shocking because Yano came out as one of the last participants, and I thought, isn't it just going to be like Wrestle Kingdom where he like manages to win the entire thing with like minimal effort? Shockingly not. In the end, with the Chaos members all handcuffed around and the Bullet Club members out, Chase Owens managed to hit Toru Yano with a package piledriver to become the new King of Pro Wrestling 2021 Provisional Champion. Not what I expected at all, because going into it I thought, it's either going to be a Yano win, or we're going to have the guy like Suzuki, or maybe even a junior heavyweight win. This has completely changed the complexion of the title. Will it stay in Japan? Will it go back to America? It's no longer going to be a comedy title, I can tell you that. And with Chase Owens' skills, it could easily be something based more on submission or the pure wrestling style that he knows. But all I can say, it was a great match, nice to see everybody on the card, and it was just a nice way to start the show. But the first proper match of the card was for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Championships, and it was between the champions El Phantasmo and Taiji Ishimori versus the mega coaches Rocky Romero and Ryusuke Taguchi. It was you know what? Sometimes opening matches have the ability just to sort of be there. But this was a really good match. So, as expected, we had the heels versus baby faces. Taguchi Romero came out guns blazing with their, like, mega asses, their forever clothesline, their, like, with the coach things. As expected, Ishimori and El Phantasmo showed some amazing wrestling. So, there was one part where I think Ishimori managed to hit both Taguchi and Romero from outside. And then, rather than Phantasmo just flying out, he told Ishimori to get them over the next barricade, and he just flew across the Tokyo Dome and hit them both. One of my favourite, and the highlights probably of my year, is whenever Rocky Romero does his Tornado DDT, using Taguchi's ass for momentum. Like, that was probably the best part. And also what I liked is it wasn't just a wrestling match. There was a story in it. We've known for about, I think since El Phantasmo came, he has been using this boot. And Taguchi Romero wanted to find the cause of this boot. They wanted to know what it was like. And at one point, when Taguchi had El Phantasmo in his Oh My Garankle, he actually managed to get the shoe off. Yet, just as he was going to look inside to see what was causing this amazing super kick, Ishimori managed to distract the ref. El Phantasmo managed to get the win for Taguchi, and as well as retaining the titles, almost like added to this like interest in this shoe. Like at one point El Fantasma was going to go and hit Taguchi or Romero with it, but Romero whacked it away and hit Ishimori. It is a dangerous boot. And what I like is that this match, as expected, they did well. It was the Bullet Club duo retained, kept them consistent with the title, but it didn't make Taguchi and Romero look bad at all. It just made Phantasmo's boots seem even more dangerous. And please, New Japan, tell me what is going on, because I am so curious. But yeah, I was right with my prediction. It was a nice match to start, a good length, some amazing action. The second match on the card, like, as soon as I watched it, like, my mouth was open from the very beginning. It was for the junior heavyweight title between El Desperado and Robbie Eagles. So I said this in my preview video, which you can go back and rewatch. I thought this was going to be special. It is between two junior heavyweights who are not your standard high flyers. So El Desperado, we know, is a very much Suzuki-gun ground-based, mat-based, submission star wrestler. Robbie Eagles, yes, he can fly, but his core style is based on that kind of catch wrestling, submission style. And they gave us so much diversity. Like, from the very beginning, we saw in the Summer Struggle show that after Robbie Eagles pinned Desperado with a roll-up, he went after that leg with a chair. Going into this match, that's what Desperado started with. However, the heart of Robbie Eagles fought back, and actually, about a quarter way through the match, it wasn't just Desperado targeting Robbie's legs, but Robbie was targeting Desperado's leg to set up for his famous Ron Miller special. There were roll-ups, there were submissions, there were finishers, they went outside, they went back in the ring, there was strength, there was speed, there was agility, and I think I loved Desperado's defenses against Ishimori and Yo, but I think this was my favourite. There were some really amazing combinations between the two, showing just how much their styles meshed together. In the end, Robbie Eagles got the win, and you know what, I've said this, I love Desperado, I wanted him to have an amazing reign, and to an extent he did. But if someone was going to defeat him, I'm so glad it was Robbie Eagles. The first ever Australian IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, and after all of his years he's put into this industry, he deserves it. And I just really hope that, obviously Hiromu is the next challenger, they've not given Robbie the belt just to drop it to Hiromu. Because I think there is so much heart and soul in Robbie, and he can do so much for this division. But yeah, like I said, I thought it was going to be an amazing match. It was an amazing match. So after an amazing spectacle from the junior heavyweights, we went on to the big boys, and particularly the big boys, we had the special singles match between Kazushika Okada and Jeff Cobb. Like I said, going into this match, there was nothing really on the line. There was no titles, no title matches, but as expected, they put on an amazing match, an amazingly clean match with some phenomenal wrestling. So from the beginning, it seemed like Jeff Cobb had a lot of momentum. He was doing some very dangerous things, taking the match outside of the ring and damaging Okada. So there was one moment where he had him, like, he lifted him up and just slammed him down onto the mat. And by God, even the commentators were like, why are you doing this, Jeff Cobb? And this just showcases how good Jeff Cobb is. He has that power. But we also saw the Gachi Muchi moonsault. We saw him running across the ring, hitting lariats. But as expected, Okada is not one of the best in the world for no reason. He found it, so despite being worn out very early, like, Cobb gave his all. He fought back, we saw rainmakers, we saw some, like, outstanding drop kicks. And I just feel like it was a showcase of two amazing athletes. This was just a pure wrestling match, combining two guys whose style very much combined strength, athleticism, and speed. And I was a bit disappointed, not in the ending. So basically the ending was Okada hit some rainmakers and managed to beat Jeff Cobb with a roll-up. I quite like that, because it's almost like Okada saying, yes, we're in the Tokyo Dome, yes, it's a huge match, but I'm not getting paid to win in a flashy way. If I'm going to win by a roll-up, it's still a win. My issue was Okada winning. I love Okada, like, one of my favourites. But Jeff Cobb has taken loss after loss, and I'm trying to figure out what's going to come forward. Like, we've not seen Hanare. Okan's been losing. Ospreay's obviously injured. We need some sort of momentum going forward. But as far as the match itself went, considering it wasn't a title match, it was amazing. Now we're on to the semi-final. Oh my god. Like, that might sound dramatic, but I've been watching New Japan for a long time. I've been watching tag team wrestling for a long time. This match between Zack Sabre Jr., Taichi versus Tetsuya Naito and Sanada for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship match, Tag Team Championship, it's probably one of the best matches I have seen all year. Like, I can't even speak properly because it is so good. Basically, going into this match, it's been one of my favourite feuds ever. Like, there is comedy, there is amazing wrestling, there is amazing chemistry between the two guys. But this match just took everything to, like, the next level. Like, I don't want to go on, because I always do this, about how, like, oh, they meshed together, you've got submission styles of Zack and Sanada, Naito's unpredictability and Taichi's strength. There was so much going on. Like, I was listening to the Japanese commentary, and the word I kept hearing was hayai, which basically means fast. And that's what this match was. There was everything in it. We had each guy going up against each other. There was one part where Sanada and Zack were just doing roll-ups after roll-up, but like different combinations. And it just looked like a very well choreographed, beautiful dance. Taichi, normally I praise him for his strength. He was doing high kicks. He was showcasing the style that we have not seen since he was a junior heavyweight. And you know what? I know I keep going about this chemistry, but for quite a few months now, I've not really been invested in this tag division. But this feud has reignited my love for it. It went over 35 minutes, I think, and some people said it was too long. But honestly, like, I don't think it was. There was something for everyone, and the chemistry between the four men and as partners was just phenomenal. Like, there was not one time, like I said with Robbie and Despy, that I knew who was going to win. At first, like I said in my predictions, I thought it might be Naito and Sanada. They were very strong throughout the entire match, targeting who they call the weaker Zack Sabre Jr., especially his leg, which we all know how much Zack needs it. But in the end, Dangerous Tekka's got the win again! And yes, okay, people have messaged me like, but it's hot potatoing. I'm so happy that Zack and Taichi won. So yeah, like I said, Naito and Sanada were so strong throughout. They were targeting the weaker Zack. But in the end, it seemed like Zack and Taichi were going to get the win with the Black Mephisto driver. However, after all these losses and draws Zack's picked up, in the end, Zack got the pin over Naito with his beautiful European clutch. Like other people might think, oh, European clutch, we had a roll-up from Okada and a European clutch from Zack. It was the perfect way to win. All four men were tired. They were not going to have the energy to hit the Zack driver or maybe the Black Mephisto. This allowed Zack to show his technical skills and got the win back for Suzuki-gun. And you know what I'm going to say? It's Miho Abe. She is their good luck charm. And you know what? I will happily watch these guys wrestle again in singles and tag matches. Yeah, honestly, one of the best tag matches I've ever watched. So yeah, congratulations, Dangerous Tekkas. And now we're on the final match. So I said at the start there was a lot of uncertainty going into this show. Kota Ibushi, it was announced that he has pneumonia, and I really hope get well soon. And we didn't know who was actually going to be main eventing. And I woke up in the morning and found out instead of Kota Ibushi versus Shingo Takagi, we were going to have Hiroshi Tanahashi, aka most beautiful man in the world, versus Shingo Takagi for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. And considering that they literally probably found out on the day, one, Tanahashi still managed to get his hair done beautifully, and two, they managed to put on an amazing match. From the very beginning, there was this fire in both of the guys' eyes. For Shingo, he wanted to prove that his first defense was going to be successful, that he was going to break this curse of this new title. For Tanahashi, for months, for the last few years, people have been doubting his ability to be a main eventer, to be at the top of the company. And in this match, Tanahashi was like, no, I am still the ace of the universe. We saw two guys who, like, embraced the strong, Japanese strong style message in wrestling. So yes, they were fast, they were athletic, But we saw dragon screw after dragon screw, not just from Tanahashi, but from the dragon himself. We saw them go outside the ring for high risk. We saw them go on the top rope. We saw them hit sling blades, noshigamis made in Japan. And I don't know if these two have fought before. I think it might have been in the G1 at some point. But it was something completely new. If you're not going to have the Golden Star versus the Dragon at the Tokyo Dome in the main event, literally probably equally as good is having the Ace versus the Dragon. They showed that they both deserved to be in the main event of that massive show. And at one point, like, Shingo was just like punching, like hitting forearms on Tanahashi, and I thought, oh no, Tanahashi's gonna go. Or there was one point where I think he hit a very dangerous move on Tanahashi, and I was like, his neck. But something clicked in Tanahashi, and every time he got beat down, he just came back with like a new surge of adrenaline. And it's why I love New Japan so much. Only in New Japan could you have two guys go in to a main event at the Tokyo Dome with such little notice and put on one of the best matches like that you could possibly see at such short notice. Of course, with a Flash of the Dragon, Shingo won, but it was an amazing end to an amazing show. Going forward, well, we already know Hiromu is going to be challenging Robbie. They've all decided to challenge Shingo for the World Heavyweight Kabugola. That didn't happen. Shingo is still champion. But yeah, going forward, we've still got our Summer Struggle Tour, which will lead into the G1. So it's going to be really exciting to see what happens. And we're going to have some new feuds, some new champions going in. And it's going to be an amazing time for New Japan. So, that was my review of the show. It was about 4 hours altogether with breaks and things. And it was definitely one of the longest shows they've had, but it was worth watching every second. So as always, make sure to let me know in the comments what you think. What were your favourite matches? Was there anything that surprised you? Like, were you like me, who you went in thinking one match was going to be amazing, but for me, coming out thinking that IWGP Heavyweight Tag Championship match was like blown my mind. What do you think of the results, and what do you expect going forward? So remember, write it in the comments, follow me at social media at wrestling_chat and let me know there. And as always, remember to like, share this video and hit that subscribe button. I will see you guys next time. Bye!